That breaking news is out of Randolph County, where a guilty verdict is handed down for the former CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina for DWI and child abuse.
However, Dr. Patrick Conway will not face any jail time. Let's go to Bill O'Neill. He was in court this afternoon for the trial. He is live in Asheboro tonight. Bill.
Yeah, the trial lasted 2 hours. The judge spent roughly 15 minutes before finding Dr. Conway guilty on all of the counts. The evidence of DWI was really overwhelming in the court today. It includes that video that many of you have seen. It was captured by a Salisbury couple, captured him recording him, actually, weaving down I-85 as well as the accident. The testimony today also included 3 Archdale police officers. All 3 of them found the doctor to be impaired based on bloodshot eyes, the odor of alcohol, and a failed sobriety test. Officers also testified that Dr. Conway was belligerent and angry during the arrest and had to be shackled at one time. One officer told the court how Dr. Conway threatened him, saying, "Do you know who I am? I'm a CEO and I'm calling Governor Cooper and get you in trouble." The child abuse charges were far less clear in court today. Prosecutors argued that Dr. Conway's 2 daughters, ages 7 and 9, who were inside that SUV, were at great risk when that SUV crashed into a tractor trailer on the interstate. But Dr. Conway's attorneys argued child abuse laws were not meant for this kind of case and that the doctor certainly had no intention of harming his own children. After the trial, neither side spoke with reporters, but we did speak with one of the people who witnessed Dr. Conway's erratic driving and crash.
It really doesn't matter to us who it was. I mean, you know, it's what the actions that person behind the wheel had taken. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter his title or anything, you know, he was putting people in danger.
Dr. Conway's attorneys have appealed today's ruling, and again, the former CEO of Blue Cross guilty of DWI and child abuse. No jail time. In Asheboro, Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
Thank you, Bill. And to see the crash report and read more about this case, look for this story on the free WXII 12 News mobile app.
We're following more breaking news. A 19-year-old is accused of making social media threats against Winston-Salem State University. Thomas Bell is now charged with making a false report concerning mass violence on educational property. He was arrested in Henderson, which is northeast of Durham. Bell is expected to be in court in Forsyth County next week.
Tonight in 12 Investigates, a $6,000 internal assessment of the Mocksville Police Department is now finished.
This comes months after a so-called therapy cat was removed from the department, causing uproar in the community, but it also uncovered much more. Devontae McKenneth explains what the report found tonight.
That assessment took about a month to complete. The 2 big takeaways from that report: number 1, there is clear division within the Mocksville Police Department, and number 2, the fear of retaliation is strong. More than 130 hours dedicated to reviewing what happens inside the Mocksville Police Department. 35 people interviewed and more than 300 pages of town and department policies looked into. It took about a month, and some concerning finds were made public on Monday. According to the assessment, many employees feared retaliation. Speaking to the outside consultants the town had hired, some were hesitant that change could happen, but agreed that change is desired. Those interviewed said most of the problems were created prior to Chief Pat Reagan's appointment, and it's causing a, quote, clear division in that department. Mayor William Markland says the assessment will put the town in the right direction.
I think anytime you have an outside organization come into your organization and give you recommendations based off their years of experience, I think it's a good thing.
More employee morale and concerns were looked into. The assessment says some commanders have competency challenges and suffer from a lack of past professional development. There's also a group of employees who are undermining the current police administration, while several others are looking for jobs. A staffing analysis says the number of personnel assigned to command-level positions is, quote, excessive. The consultant firm recommends not filling any open positions, including spots for a captain and an assistant chief. instead turning those positions into patrol officers, putting more police on the streets. A timeline with a list of objectives was also given to the town board. Some of these actions should be addressed within 12 months, like policy revisions. Others right away, including 2 issues the firm found that may be criminal in nature. Mayor Markland says the events leading up to this assessment have shown him quite a bit.
The biggest thing I think that I've taken away from the situation is that the police chief and the town manager are responsible for the police department, and we just need to know our roles and what we're supposed to be doing, and move forward with that. But I think once that chain of command kind of breaks down, then you have some issues.
And the police chief cannot provide any further comment other than what was released with the statement alongside this assessment. In that, he says he believes this will help his agency be better prepared for the future. In Davie County, I'm Devontae McKenneth, WXII 12 News.
Thank you, Devontae. And if you have a story idea for 12 Investigates, send an email to newstips@WXII12.com.
The family of a man at the center of an arrest viewed more than 30,000 times on Facebook is demanding answers tonight. Bobby Harvey is now charged with 3 counts of felony assault on law enforcement. Officers say they approached him Friday night because he matched the description of an assault suspect in that area. Officers say Harvey tried to walk away during questioning, and when they tried to arrest him, they say he punched and tased 2 of them and bit a 3rd officer. The police chief says Harvey was not ultimately the suspect in that initial assault call, but stands by the actions of his officers. Kirsten Gutierrez tonight has reaction from his family.
Family and friends of Bobby Harvey gathered in Burlington to demand justice from the Burlington Police Department. They say police officers used excessive force when arresting Harvey Friday night.
When the police chief did his press conference, he said my brother had no injuries, which is not true. When I was finally allowed to see my brother, he had several injuries. A huge knot in the back of his head, a black eye, scrapes to the white meat on his knee and elbow, and a gash in his eyebrow, and his clothes he had on were all bloody. It literally broke my heart.
Harvey's first appearance wrapped up quickly Tuesday morning. He requested a court-appointed attorney, and the judge scheduled his next court date for October 25th. Harvey's sister is upset his first appearance was moved up from 2 p.m. to 11. They say they weren't able to make it to court to support him because they didn't know the time changed. The bailiff I spoke with says it's not uncommon for the judge to move up first appearances if they have a light docket. However, the family says it's just another slap in the face. They're asking for complete transparency and for Harvey to be released.
Our community needs a seat at the table when it comes to policing the police. We need a citizen review board with the power to take action against police who engage in racial profiling and excessive force. We also demand transparency and accountability of the Burlington Police Department, and all charges against Mr. Harvey be dropped.
On Monday, the Burlington police chief offered the Harvey family to look at the body camera video, and they said they were waiting for a lawyer. Now that they have one, they plan to watch that video. In Burlington, Kirsten Gutierrez, WXII 12 News.
Kirsten, thank you. The police department now has 30 days to conduct an internal investigation. The department is also asking a judge to okay the release of that body camera video. As for the 3 officers involved, Officers Bowling, Hines, and Steele were all injured. Investigators say Officer Hines is okay to return to work. Officer Bowling is on transitional duty while he recovers, and Officer Steele is expected to be cleared to return to work this Friday. The chief says none of the officers are facing any disciplinary action at this time.
More and more people are being diagnosed with the mumps at High Point University. There are now 11 confirmed cases on campus. The university is now giving free vaccines this week. All students need is their insurance card and University of High Point passport card. If they do have a copay, the university will cover it, and students and staff can get vaccines at the Student Center or Cottrell Hall Kushner Ballroom tomorrow through Friday. You do not need to have an appointment. Elon University is also dealing with the mumps. The health department confirms 6 cases on campus. Mumps is a contagious virus, and doctors recommend getting vaccinated, washing your hands frequently, and disinfecting surfaces as well as doorknobs.
Turning our attention to the weather now. A little bit of rain fell today in Mount Airy. If you look closely, you can see some of the streets there downtown are still a little bit wet. Lainey Pope joins us now. More folks going to see rain, Lainey, or just up in Mayberry?
Good news is that there is rain on the radar. It does include Mount Airy, other foothill and mountain locations. We are hopeful in the Triad, but not very optimistic that we're going to see that fulfilled as we go through this evening. You look at Stuart, Virginia, where we have had clouds all day long, also passing showers. It's good to see some rain. Let me show you where it is, and it is sort of falling apart as it moves into the Triad. We do still have a little rain right now between Stuart and Martinsville. That is moving to the east. Also a few sprinkles in Stokes County. More moderate rain, though, and covering up the counties of Carroll as well as Grayson County getting some wet weather. Also Allegheny, and look at this, almost all of Wilkes County with rain coming down. So yes, there will be some showers around. You have a better chance the closer you are to the mountains, because as we go through tonight, that 8, 9, 10 o'clock hour, you will see a lot of this sort of fading away with only a spotty shower chance in the Triad. We're going to look ahead at when we get rid of the gray skies, and we're going to head, of course, at the rest of this week's forecast coming up.
Lainey, thank you very much. New tonight, city leaders in Winston-Salem are hoping an incentives package will encourage Mount Airy Company to move its headquarters to the Twin City. The City Council has already approved a nearly $300,000 incentive package for Renfro Corporation. The company has an office in Winston-Salem already, but again, the headquarters is up in Mount Airy. The CEO says leaders could also decide to expand in one of their other locations, which include Los Angeles and New York. On Thursday, the Forsyth County Board of Commissioners is set to consider its own incentives package for Renfro.
Tonight, Mount Airy is remembering a commissioner who died from cancer. Jim Armbruster was 62 years old. He joined the Mount Airy Board of Commissioners in 2014 after nearly 20 years with the police department. According to our partners at the Mount Airy News, Armbruster's condition took a turn in recent months, and he spent most of the summer in the hospital. A visitation is now set for Thursday night from 5 until 7 at Moody Funeral Home. His funeral will also be held there Friday morning at 10.
Looking ahead, the Reverend Franklin Graham is scheduled to be in Greensboro tomorrow. It's one of several stops on his Decision America Tar Heel State Tour. Graham will speak at the White Oak Amphitheater at 7. Franklin Graham is the son of the late Reverend Billy Graham.